All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how women are still the glory of a man, right? The woman is still a glory of a man, but men are no longer really looking for glory in these women, and they're thinking about the women to come, right? They're thinking about the women that they're going to receive in the future. They're thinking about the Israelite women that they're going to receive in the kingdom, right? They're thinking about the women that are going to be humble before them, according to Isaiah 4:1, and they've already pretty much kind of considered it a loss in regards to even the woman that they might be with right now, man. And this is something that I can kind of hear is a true thought process with men in the world and even men in the truth, man, because men in the world will say, oh, she's not yours, it's just your turn. So they've already inevitably assumed that the relationship's not gonna carry on anyway, and that the relationship's gonna eventually inevitably end, man. Right? So they say, oh, it's not yours, she's not yours, she's just your turn. But really, a woman is supposed to be yours, and nobody else is supposed to get a so-called turn unless you're dead. Right? The only way any man's supposed to get a so-called turn or any access to that woman after you is if you're not even alive anymore, man. Right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 7. For a man indeed ought to not cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, but the woman is the glory of the man. Right? A woman is the glory of a man, but then it goes on in the scriptures to say that a woman's glory is her hair. Right? But a man's glory is a woman. Right? But it's not these women right now. We're thinking about how the women that the men are thinking about the women that they're gonna receive in the kingdom, man. Whereas still now, even in this world right now, women are still thinking about their hair, they're thinking about their appearance, they're thinking about their tan, they're thinking about their skincare routine, right? They're thinking about their eyebrows, they're thinking about their nose, they're thinking about their lips, they're thinking about their nails, they're thinking about their nails on their hands and the nails on their toes, right? They're thinking about shaving their legs, they're thinking about threading their eyebrows. They're thinking about wearing push-up bras. They're thinking about doing squats and deadlifts and RDLs, right? Cable kickbacks and all these different kind of things, glute bridges, hip thrusts, in order to make their bum look bigger. They're thinking about twerking. They're thinking about what outfits show off their bum the nicest. They're thinking about all the different ways that they can get praise for themselves. That's why they want to have these Instagram accounts where they go to all these places, because one of the ways that women get praise from them in themselves is by showing off to other women, right? It's just by showing off to other women and making other women be jealous and covetous of their life, right? That's one of the ways that they do this, and one of the ultimate ways how they can do this then is trying to find and get access to the best men of the times, the most worldly men of that time, man. Because then that would surely have to mean that they're a better woman than another woman if they've got access to the so-called best man of the times, right? Because if not, then why she got access to the best man? And that's why these women don't mind having a part-time access to some of these best men of these times right now, which are actually wicked men. But they don't mind having a rental of that, spending a one night with that guy, and then they're gonna go out. That's gonna be the best time of their life from now until they die, right? That's gonna be something that they're just gonna be boasting about, thinking about their own private little secret that they've got for the rest of their life, or they'll throw away their relationship chasing after just a look or a glance from the so-called best men of these times, man. It's truly fascinating how dumb and short-sighted women are. Men are nowhere near as short-sighted as women when it comes to these things, man. Women don't really view the future, right? Women don't really have a foresight, and that's why a lot of them are going to take the MOTB, man. So many of them, so many Israelite women, especially in Babylon the Great, man, are going to be a part of the lake of fire. It's going to be truly a fascinating sight to see, man. So many women over here in the UK, they're going to just fall quick as hell. So many arrogant women right now that would act like they're just so rebellious towards anything that men say. But the moment that this society goes haywire and men are saying to these women, do this and do that, and violence can be activated, they're not going to have that courage no more, man. Because women don't really have any courage anyway. It's fake courage. They only have courage the same way how Esau has courage when it's a rigged game, highly in their favor. That's the only time that women have any kind of courage. That's the only time that Esau has any kind of courage. The real courage is Israelite men that are against this whole world, even though the world's got every single thing in its favor. And that all the things that they actually believe in right now and saying that's going to defend them, they haven't seen one bit of evidence of it. They haven't seen no evidence of Yahweh. We can believe him through faith, but they ain't seen him. We ain't seen an actual chariot, as in actually see and know it's a chariot for real. We've seen things flying in the sky and then it might disappear and come back. We've seen that plenty of times. We've seen things in the sky that look strange, right? Plenty of times we've seen that. But can we confirm 100% that that's a chariot? No. We can believe it through faith it's a chariot. But is it a chariot every single time? I don't believe so. Verse 8, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman is of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So Yahweh's going to create some new women for the men that believe in him right now, man. And these women are not gonna these women are not gonna be making it, man. A lot of these women are not it, man. And people might say, oh, whatever. If we go to but the men ain't it neither. But the men ain't it neither. Okay, but the men ain't it neither, right? But here's the thing: Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he have no need of spoil. What's to stop a woman being like that right now? What's to stop a woman from being a kind of woman that her husband can safely trust in her right now? Now, some women might say to us men, what's to stop a man from doing the things that women want him to do? Well, I'll tell you, right? If this is a society that we do not run, right, and women love and worship and desire money, they love and they worship and desire power, how can we, as the Israelite man that's in captivity right now, have money and power in a society that is designed to keep us away from having that? Now, some people can, or through basketball. Basketball is literally a thing designed to make Israelites jump around and bounce the ball around, man. But it's mostly Israelites in that league. And I looked it up after I heard some guy mention this, man. Some guy on the internet, he mentioned this. He's like, they kept asking him why he didn't make it into the league, right? And he said, there's only ever really been about 5,000 people that have even been in the league anyway. And then I looked it up because I was like, man, if that's true, that's crazy. And when I looked it up, it said that there's only ever been roughly 5,400 people in the NBA league. Now, when you consider how many people want to be professional basketball players, that number is low. 5,400. There's what, 30 or 32 teams, starting five. Then there's like maybe, what, 5 to 10 other players that they can play as well. 10 players a team then, right? Maybe 10, 12 players a team or something like that. I don't really know exactly how many basketball players are on a team, but 5,400 people since the league started. And I think it started in like the 40s, something like that. That's nothing. That number's low. That's a low-ass number, man. But it's a lot more easy for women to do the things that's required of them to be righteous in the sight of Yahweh than it is for men to do let me say it again. It's a lot more easy for women to do the things that men think are righteous to make a man be happy than it is for the men right now to do the things that would make a woman happy. And women might say, oh, now you guys chatting. Listen, man, Eve was in paradise and she was miserable. See what I mean? Eve was in paradise. Some of you women have had access to millionaire men that would be good looking men, and you still screwed that over. You still messed that up, man. Some of you women have had access to more than one millionaire man and rich guys and all that. You might have had access to men that are billionaires that have got access to all the trinkets that and you still screw that up, man. By being yourself. You know what I mean? You women keep ruining all your relationships by being yourself, man. Yourself ain't good enough. You need to fix yourself. Verse 12, she will do him good and evil all the days of her life. What's to stop women from doing that right now? What's to stop women from doing men good and evil and not evil all the days of their life? What's to stop her, man? What's to stop a woman from just doing the things that she knows ain't gonna get on her man's damn nerves? What's to stop him? Oh, but he gotta make this amount, and then if he did make that amount, yeah, you'd still mess it up because there'd be a man out there that does make that, and you still can't get it right. You women are always talking about the men that are broke, right? Okay, what about the men that are not broke then? How come you ain't got one of them? You men are always talking about the men that you find unattractive in order to. Okay, what about the men that aren't unattractive though? How come you ain't got one of those men? You men are always talking about men being broke and men being bums, and I heard an elder say this, and I've known this anyway. But you women are always talking about men being broke. You broke yourself because if you're broke, if you're asking for money from someone that you're calling broke, you're worse off than them. Don't you understand that, dummies? If you're waiting for someone that's got less money than you to give you money, right? With your hand out for someone that you're calling poor, right? Saying if you ain't got it, just say it and all that. Mate, what does that mean that you've got then? If you're waiting for like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Verse 13, she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. What's to stop women from doing that right now? But they'll complain that they're cooking for a man, when really, wouldn't you cook for yourself anyway? They're trying to make it like washing dishes, cooking and cleaning food is like so of much of a difficult task, and like washing clothes, but it's something that they do for themselves anyway. Like men don't even really in this world ask for as much as they should ask for from women, to be honest with you. Men should really be asking for women for way more than they even ask women for in this world. And the little small things that men ask women for in this world, the women still could manage to do that. The men pretty much ask for the woman to not be a hoe, not be an embarrassment to him, right? And to maybe make some food and keep the house clean or something like that. That's pretty much about it. And the women can't even get that right. But the women will be asking men for exactly all those same things that he's asking her for. And for him to any single time that she wants some random items to pay for it. Even if he can't, she will still want him to be able to. That's the thing about it. Even if he can't do it, she'd still want him to be able to. Even if she knows he doesn't actually have the money to be able to do it, she'd still want him to have the money to be able to do it. Verse 14, she's like merchant ship, she bringeth food from afar. What's to stop a woman from bringing food from afar? But in this world, a woman will try and bring food and try and come with that Mary Poppins image and bring food to a man's workplace because she's trying to see who his boss is. She's trying to see who he works with, trying to see if she can try and level up, man. You think we don't know the tricks of you wicked ass women in this world, man? You will try and like it's absolutely like it's truly scandalous the way how Yahweh did us with these women, man. He really put the knife in and twisted it with how he made these women be towards us, man, to humble us, man. He really done it, man. Like such inferior people have been able to do such damage, man. Just like Esau, like such an inferior being as Esau, he's allowed and shown that with this inferior being, I can do a whole bunch of damage, man. It's like playing a video game, yeah, with the worst character on the hardest mode, right? The lowest powered character on the hardest mode, and showing that you can complete the game with the worst character. That's what Yahweh basically did. I can complete this game with the worst character. It's like Yahweh literally imagine, let's just put it in perspective. This is something I think sometimes, man, that Yahweh can just tap into any person on earth, right, and control them to fulfill his will. So let's just say that when Esau was taking Jake down, that Yahweh was literally inside of his mind, controlling him like a video game character. And he's battling against strong, high-powered Jakes, but Yahweh knows all the tricks. And he's just controlling Esau to be able to take us down, man. And we're there thinking, man, how the hell is this happening? But Yahweh made the characters of the world, right? So he knows their power and their weak points. And then he's did the same thing with the women, man. Like these women are not our glory, but the woman's still the glory of a man. But it's not going to be these women that are our glory, right? One of the things that's keeping us going is seeing Esau fall right? That's one of the probably the main thing that we want to see. It's Esau 4, man, right? We want to see ourselves get changed and be immortal. That's definitely up there, right? But we also want to see what a righteous and beautiful woman looks like, man. We haven't seen it. And the women can try and say, we haven't seen what a righteous and beautiful man looks like. Okay, fair enough. Right? We ain't righteous neither. I would agree to that. But you ain't righteous. That's the thing. You can say that we ain't. Okay, we ain't. I'll agree. I'm me as a man. I'm not righteous, right? But you ain't though. And that's the thing that they always want to forget, these women. Whenever they're resenting their men, looking at their men sideways for whatever they think that their man don't have, right? They'd never think and look back and look at the things that they don't have. Like I was watching one video, and there was one woman that said that her man hadn't slept with her for 17 months. He ain't slept with me for 17 months. I don't know what's his problem. And I was just looking at her. I was like, you look like you weigh about 250 pounds. He ain't slept with you in 17 months. And you don't think, you know what? Let me lose some weight and maybe he'll be more attracted to me. Like just as a thing to think in general. So let's say she was 250. Surely her being 200 in 17 months, she could have really, you know what I mean? But she didn't really believe that she had to fix anything. And then when I was hearing how she was talking, I was just like, ugh. The way how this woman even talks is disgusting, man. She sounds like a man. She sounds masculine as hell. But in 17 months, that's a year and 5 months, man. And her husband ain't dealt with her one time. And she don't think, you know what, let me lose some weight. Let me change my personality. Let me fix something about myself. And it's just a sign that these women don't really believe that there's anything that they need to change about themselves. And that's why the glory of a man in this world is destroyed, man. We're seeking the glory to come. We're seeking, when we're thinking about women in Isaiah 4 and 1 and that, right? We ain't thinking about LaQuisha with the stupid hair clip-ons and all that, and them stupid glued on gelled edges that have been happening since I was 15 years old. Haven't you been learned to not doing that stupid gel side edges yet since then, man? That shit's really been going on since I was about 12, man. And I damn sure ain't 12 now. When are y'all gonna come out of that, man? That template Eve image where they walk around with the fuzzy sandals, right? They got a fat ass, but they got a fat gut to go with it. The special thing about having a so-called big booty is that you don't have a big belly around the front. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be a fat ass on the front and on the back. Your belly looks like a fat ass, man. Some of you women, man. And here's another trick. Your belly's not supposed to be hanging further than your breasts. Huh? So if your breasts are real small, you better make sure that belly's tucked in. How about that? And that's another thing that's mad. These women's glories their hair and their appearance and all that, but Eve just still can't manage to find herself in a gym. You got this YouTuber Broly Gaines, right? And one of the things that he does to show his strength and show that he ain't skipping leg day, he finds fat Israelite women, right? And listen, now he sometimes finds fat women of other nations too. But the main woman that he just doesn't seem to be able to miss finding a fat one of is a so-called black woman all the time, man. Now he's picked up some fat Filipino women before, some fat women in other countries and that, but he always seems to manage to find a fat black woman, man. And then he's gassing their head up because he smacks them on the bum afterwards and that. And the women are actually thinking they got a chance. They're actually thinking they got a chance with this geezer that's got like a 12-pack abs. Because he's gassing their heads up, man. Making them feel confident because he can pick them up on that, mate. A man's not supposed to have to become Thanos in the gym to be able to pick his woman up. His woman should be easy to pick up, man. He shouldn't be having to think, man, do I need a weightlifting belt before I try and pick this bitch? Like, he shouldn't be thinking, man, am I going to do my back out if I pick this woman up? He shouldn't be having to pick her up by making her stand on the curb first. He should be able to pick her up easy. He shouldn't be having to make life-changing decisions to pick a woman up. A man shouldn't be having to think, man, am I strong enough to lift up this woman? Because she shouldn't be that big. She shouldn't be that big, man. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, man. And I don't even, like, the women thing is a thing that needs to be spoken about, right? but it's becoming tiresome, to be honest with you. Like, and that's how it's a sign. That's how you know it's a sign that the women are going to eventually start just getting judged for real, man. Because it's becoming even talking and thinking about the woman thing is really becoming tiresome, man. Like these women are already through. They're just trying to hang on to the last little dregs of the kingdom. They're still gassed up a little bit because they can still get a man to sleep with them. Because like, if a basketball player, right, can score a free throw or score an under the basket layup, right, he's gonna do that rather than scoring a 3-pointer from the other side of the court. Now, what am I saying when I say this? If a woman's throwing it out there and begging it off to try and get attention and try and get a little ego boost by sleeping with any guy that she can get attention from because she hasn't been getting attention from the men that she wants to get it from, he ain't gonna say nah thanks. He's just gonna be thinking about his numbers going up. Oh, my body count's gone up. I'm the man. I'm a man. I feel like a bit more manly now after sleeping with that woman. That's what he's gonna be thinking. Now the stupid woman's gonna be thinking that she did something, but all she did is degrade herself. Every single extra man after the woman that the man that took a woman's virginity that she sleeps with, she's lowering her worth. And that's why it's stupid when you women try and, as your body count numbers get higher and higher and higher, think about the kind of man that you want to be better and better and better, when the best man that you're supposed to pick is meant to be the first man. And if you don't know what a good man is before you've lost your virginity, right? Fucking figure it out and lose your virginity to him. Maybe stop sleeping with guys because they got a ponytail. Maybe stop sleeping with a guy because he's got a nice sports car that he's got on finance. Maybe stop sleeping with a guy because he hit the U-turn the way that you like it. Maybe stop sleeping with men because they got an arm sleeve tattoo of a gladiator. Maybe stop sleeping with a man because he's good at football and you're hoping he's going to go pro, but he ain't pro yet though. Maybe, how about that? Maybe stop sleeping with a guy because he's a good DJ. How about that? How about pick the best man first and then you wouldn't need to try and go for no other men? How about that? What women will do is they might have a guy that's a good guy in one category, but then they go out and they see another guy that's a good guy in another category. He might be funny. He's like, oh, I wish that this guy was funny, but he's just good at physical things with his hands. I wish that he could do that and be funny and comedian. And they want every single characteristic that men can have to be in one man. But then here's the thing, they wouldn't want their man to be looking at them like, man, okay, this woman's nice. She's got a fat ass, but her boobs are too small, or her skin ain't the color that I would like it to be. She's a bit too light for me, or she's a bit too dark for me. And she ain't feminine. She ain't as feminine as this woman. They wouldn't want that. But they don't mind doing it though. And that's why there's so many videos by the apostles, by elders. There's so many videos. I literally made a flipping playlist called Women Rebuked or Rebuking Women or something like that, right? Of all the videos that people have been making of rebuking women, there's probably about 400 or 500 videos on there, man. And I don't even be adding all the videos that I even watch into the playlist, man. But there's loads of videos in there of women just getting cursed out for how stupid and wicked they are. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters, give ear unto my speech, because you women right now are not glory to men. You women right now are not a glory to men, man. And that's why if a man could quite easily get away from you women and there wasn't no like financial or anything lost that's going to happen to his world in most cases in this society, men would just get away from you. They wouldn't have no need to even still talk to you women, man. Like really, if you women didn't have vaginas, man, men wouldn't even still talk to you now. That's the best. Hey, it's lucky how much have y'all tried. That's the best thing y'all have got going for you right now, that you've got vaginas. Right? That's the best thing you've got going for you, that you've got a vagina attached to you. I ain't trying to be too funny or be too mean, but when I really think about the average woman in this society, it's true. And then you've even got women in this world that are fat as hell, that they're trying to come proud and actually trying to move around and walk around like there's some hot thing in it, and you're looking, and you're like, no, you're not. You ain't a hottie. But then here's the thing: even if you are a hottie, humble yourself too, because that's not gonna be there forever. Like the women in this society are not a glory of the man. A woman is still a man's glory, but they're not the glory. Then these women are not our glory, man. We're either thinking about some women that are far off or some imaginary women that don't even exist, which is to a certain degree what women are doing right now. Women are doing that right now, but men are more likely to be like, you know what? I'm just not gonna deal with no one than a woman is. A woman will be talking about how bad men are and all that. And if you when you've got this whole Kendra D thing and all that, like I think I seen one video title where the woman tried to get on a dating show after she just slept with a man a few hours ago. I'm like, raw. Women used to call up Kevin Samuels and be asking how to get a high value man while they're married. You know what I mean? They've been married asking how do I get a high value man? You're married though. So isn't that man high value? Why did you marry him? Like women think they're so cool, yeah. And I'm gonna get into this, man. I wanna say this part, man. Women think they're so cool, right? But they have a thing where they go on dates with men and use the men for money that they don't find attractive and don't like. If you're so cool and you've got it going on and you're Miss Stang and all of that, right? Why ain't you just only able to go on dates with men that you do like? Why are you having to use men for dates and use men's money that you don't even like and find attractive? Why can't you get men asking you to go out on dates that you do find attractive? Why not? Why aren't you just a woman that's got only men and can just have, well, you want, and a woman is never going to only have men that she finds attractive asking her out. But why aren't you a man that can find the men that you have that find you that you find attractive, and then you just can filter out all the men that you don't find attractive? Why are you having to fill your time, right, with dates from men that you don't like, and why are you actually even going? Men wouldn't do that. Men don't be going out and be seen. Men don't take women out on dates that they don't find attractive in the hopes to smash. If a man's gonna sleep with a woman that he don't find attractive, he ain't taking her out on no date. He's gonna be getting her like in some easy way that he might not even have to ever be seen out in public with her, man. But you women are going out in public with men that you don't find attractive, right? And using them. But if you really got it going on like you think, you wouldn't have to do that. You'd be able to only go out with men that you do find attractive. So you're not as smooth in the society as you think you are. You actually, some of you are a lot of you are losers. But you don't believe that you are though. Because this world gasses you up. But just wait till this society falls, right? And how stupid and embarrassing you're gonna look, man. The men are even gonna be embarrassed by what's coming. Because the day the Lord's gonna reveal the truth about everybody. People that thought that brothers in the truth that might not be physically strong and all that, and they kind of think that they're weak. Watch how strong you're gonna become in the day of the Lord, man. And I'm not even meaning like you're gonna grow muscles. I mean about watch how just the day of the Lord is gonna expose that you're a warrior, man. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, just watch. Watch how you're gonna show your worth in that time, man. And watch how men that would physically look better than you are gonna look like they're gonna look stupid before you. Just watch. Just watch, man. Wait and see. Verse 11. Tremble, you women, at verse 10. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Because for even still now, there's certain women that are wicked as hell towards men, right? And the men are still just buying them things, man. Like when you actually think about these men that have got all this money, right? And you actually think and like just sit back and see how they let women talk to them, and you're like, man, you're letting this woman talk to you like that, yeah? You could get a better looking woman than that at McDonald's. You could literally just go to McDonald's drive-throughs and find better looking women than that. You could go to JD Sports. You could go to Tesco, man. You could go Asda, find a woman that works at Asda, find a woman that works at Tesco or something like that. You know what I mean? Find a woman that works some Primark or something like that. And she'd probably look better than that woman. But then here's the thing. The moment you start treating some woman nice, then she gets gassed up as well. And then she'll start acting like that. And that's why when women go from wherever they're from to Babylon the Great, they start acting up. Because they can't contain themselves, man, because a lot of these gifts and these bags and these clothes and these cars, they've got demons on them that make people gassed up, man. Like a red Ferrari. Have you ever seen a red Ferrari going down the street, right? Revving and all, and no one looks at it and pays attention? No, you haven't. Because you'll be looking at it. Even from just the sound that the engine makes, you're going to see. A yellow Lamborghini, you're going to see. Have you ever just seen a fine ass woman walking on the street and no one's paying her attention? No, because then you wouldn't have seen her, would you? You haven't just seen that happen. Because these things have got demons on them, man. These things in this world have got demons and they've got spirits on them. But in the day of the Lord, a fine woman ain't going to mean nothing, man. Because people are going to be in survival mode. No one ain't going to care about how fine you are. And how it looks when you twerk. The recoil on that and all that. Yeah, gats and all that. No one ain't going to care about no gats and all that. No one ain't going to care about that. No one ain't going to care about the bakery and the cakes. The bakery. No one ain't going to care about that, man. They ain't going to care. Well, they ain't going to care about it the way you think they're going to. The way they're prepared to spill out all the money from their bank account. The bank account thing's going to be done away with in that time. And that's why it's not so impressive that the women in Isaiah 4 and 1 are going to be saying, we'll eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Because what bread are you going to be needing in that time? Basic essentials, man. You ain't going to need no one to take you to no fancy restaurant in that time. So it's not impressive that they're going to be saying that anyway. It's not really impressive, man. It's not really impressive that they're going to be talking like that. This is going to be an apocalyptic life. So it's not really no special thing. It would be more impressive if they were saying it now than it's going to be in that time. They're going to be saying it in that time because things are going to be so drastic that all they're going to want is for a man to protect them. It's not because they're truly super righteous, right? But they've still got more sense than the women of Micah 7 and 10, though. Verse 11, tremble you men are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare. And gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruit of vine. They're going to be lamenting for when there was a man's glory. Like some of them still can't even, a lot of women can't even figure out that I'm in a relationship with men right now. What they did to where they think, man, this guy used to take me out loads of different places, man. This guy used to never even let me pay for anything. This guy used to plan this. This guy used to plan that. He used to take me, he used to talk to me so nice. But now he don't talk to me. But they don't think, you know what? What did I do? Or did I do anything that made him change from treating me like that? They don't consider. They don't consider it, man. They don't consider that they did anything wrong. And that's why every single man's got stories. Some brothers are better at others than not talking about this topic, right? But every man could fill a day's worth of videos, and I'm on about 24 hours easily talking about the wickedness of women, man. And it's a topic that really, if you are truly about talking the whole contents of the scriptures, you can't completely avoid you can't completely avoid talking about it, man, because it's a part of what we're waiting to see. Right? It's actually a part of what's going to show that we're in the times of the Lord, man. Let's get this one. Right? I believe it's 16, right? 2 chapter 16 and verse 33. The virgin shall mourn. Excuse me. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The whore shall mourn, having no husbands. The daughter shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and the husband shall perish with famine. So this is one of the things that's waiting to see for women to be mourning about men, right? And they're partly doing it now anyway. But in the wars now, in the Russia and Ukraine thing, a lot of women are experiencing this right now, right? But here's the thing that you men don't seem to understand. Like, you might hear men talk about Isaiah 4 and 1 so often, right? And you think that we're just waiting for the day that you men can just realize that we're the best men for you. No. Part of it is that we want to see you men humbled, man. Right? Now, that's definitely something that I'm saying. Now, other people can say whatever they want to say, but we want to see women humble. Right? Humbled and humble. It's not just because we're just waiting to make Eve realize that she should have chose us. You know, some of you are not going to be getting chosen. And just because you men all of a sudden realize the error of your ways, that the men that you thought weren't shit actually are something and actually do have worth, right? Don't mean that the man's gonna be so happy for you to pick him, because you ain't gonna be doing the choosing in that day. The man gonna be looking you up and down, put on some pop the balloon thing, man. And if we don't like you, right, those men that get access to that to fulfill that prophecy, if they don't like you, you're gonna be dismissed, man. And there ain't gonna be nothing you can do about it. What are you gonna do? You're gonna kick our ass? I don't think so. What are you gonna do? You're gonna say first of all and do the grabbing the grapes out of the sky routine and the twisting and the shaking of the neck? You are nothing. You got me fucked up. You're gonna start doing all that? No, you're not. Because 10 words wouldn't have been made to leave out your mouth before justice is enacted. So what are you gonna do? I'm gonna find if you won't do it, another man will. Okay. Another man will what? Become of the elect. Another man will what? Another man will what? Like in that time, the men that are gonna be having that access to even make that choice, Isaiah 4:1, they're gonna pretty much know that they're of the elect by that time. They're gonna be able to start feeling it more in their spirit. Yeah, I gotta be of the elect. Because why am I experiencing this then? Why am I experiencing Isaiah 4:1 if I ain't of the elect? Their courage and their boldness is gonna start increasing higher and higher, because a woman's glory, a woman is the glory of a man, right? As he starts having more and more women around him, he starts feeling himself more. Just like how when you're women, when you're fine, right? Your skin looks like shiny metal, right? No one can't tell you nothing. When you smell nice, when you walk past the man, and you're just like, oh wow, she smells so nice. When your hair just bounces when you walk, right? You ever seen a woman and she's walking and her hair just bounces when she walks and she's just got a feminine aura to her? You ever seen that, right? But then there's a righteous version of that, and then there's a wicked version where she's just got her chin elevated and she's just clicking and she just don't move out of no one's way, but no one gets in her way neither, women or men. There's an arrogant version and there's a righteous version, man. That's how men are going to be going on when they start having like a man that can get loads of women in this world right now. He ain't stressed over what women have got to say, really, or men, because he knows that he can get women. No, people might try and tell him, you ain't 6'8", you're 6'6". He don't really care, because whether he's 6'8" or 6'6", the women are still coming at him. He don't really care, right? People say, oh, you ain't this, you ain't good at that. Okay, but he's still getting the women that he wants though, and the women that you want. Yahweh is going to increase the confidence of the men of the elect by giving them one of the things that they was lacking in this world, man. Women, right? Women are a man's glory, man. He's going to give men glory by giving them women, right? That's one of the ways how a man gets glory, and people can say, nah, it ain't and all that, all they want. That's one of the ways. You're going to deny the Lord? You're going to say that Paul didn't know what he was talking about, are you? Because I think Paul knew a lot more than you. 2 Peter chapter 15 and verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their actions that stand in their power. So one way that men show their glory is by fighting and stuff like that, right? But none of that beats the women. And in the time to come, people ain't going to be caring about what no government's got to say, man. They ain't going to care about what no MP's got to say. Oh, but on the news they said, they're going to be like, yo, fuck what the news said, man. But they said it's a curfew. Yo, fuck that curfew. I'm standing on business out here, man. Yo, daddy need new shoes. Papa need new shoes. Snake eyes. You know what I mean? Don't give me snake. I need some new shoes, and then I need some new Nikes, and I'm going JD's Sports, and I'm raking them out. They're gonna be doing all that. That the same foolishness they did in them riots, man, over in the UK, 2011 and that, where people were stealing bags of rice. Which in the time to come, a bag of rice is gonna be more important than some Jordans and some tracksuit bottoms or whatever, right? And there was a lot of racial tension around that time too. There was a lot of racial tension around that time as well, man. Verse 17, I remember, man, I saw like some Edomite, man, with some friends. He was like maybe 18, 19, something like that. And he tried to drag out some Edomite out of his car that was in the car with his girlfriend. He opened the car door because some people are dumb and don't be locking their car doors. He opened the car door, right? Jumped on the car. No, let me correct it. He tried to open the car door, but the door was locked, right? So then he jumped on the car. He got on top of the car and was jumping on their car, man. And the person drove away and he fell on the floor and then he got up and started chasing after them. But you know that person was shook, and rightly so. But in a real scenario like that, the person might have reversed the car over them, man. But what would he have, I always wonder when I think about that story, what would he have did if he got him out of the car? What would he have did? What was he gonna do if he got them out of the car? What was he planning to do? You see what I mean? Like what was the desire in his mind that he's always had, where when he thinks it's times of chaos, he's trying to open someone's car door? Like, did he think it was GTA or something like that? Like, what was he trying to do? Because there's a lot of people that think that this world's civilized, and they try and take advantage of people because they're always expecting everybody else to be scared of the police and the law. But the time's going to come where no one cares about that anymore, man. There's going to be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. This is going to happen. All right, it is going to happen, man. And I've started off talking about the glory of a man being a woman, but there's plenty of other things that are coming. Verse 17, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. That's going to happen. And that's going to be a thing that's going to humble you women. Because you men love gallivanting, man. You men love that you can just literally jump on a train, jump on a plane, and fly. You women literally will have no money in your bank account, right? Or not have enough money to get an Uber home and somehow be able to be on a yacht. Like, men can't do that. You will have no money. Somehow be able to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? All gourmet. And not even have the money to get an Uber home and be saying, if you broke, just say so. Oh, if you ain't got it, just say. But you ain't got it though. And even still that your life's this easy, I'll still try and complain. You were literally getting flown out to cities that you could never go to without off your own account, of your own money. And y'all are complaining about how life's so hard and this and that. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of freebies and free ride that women be getting in this society, yeah. Without it being like a thing where, oh, they're disabled and they got some health problems to where they're having to have this help. No, it's just that they're a woman and they might have got pregnant, or they're a woman in general, and they can claim, oh, a man hurt me, so I need to get out of it. They can just say whatever they want to say, and they just get a free life, man. They just get a free life. And then they still complain all the time, man. They still complain. But when they can no longer go into a city, where they want to go into a city, oh, I'd like to go Miami. Like, you know, these London women and these UK women and that, they all want to go Miami, right? They all want to go Miami, man, and get to see what a basketball player do, a tall Nilla. Because you don't just be seeing as many tall Jakes in the UK as you be seeing in America, man. Because they got the NBA over there, and they got all the NBA players that make it, and they got all the people that NBA player height that don't make it too. All them NCAA players that don't end up in the league, man. They want to be seeing what it do. Because a London Rich Jake versus a Miami Rich Jake is not even the same. The poorest Rich Jakes in Miami will make the London Jakes that are the richest look broke. They're making them look poor. It's not the same, man. And that's why the rich Jakes over in the UK that be thinking that there's some money, Jesus, and all that. They don't really be wanting to go over to Miami. And really, they don't even really get to go and access to some of the best places in the UK even. Because they're priced out and they're dressed like too much of a thug to even be let into those places, man. So they gotta go to the reggae joint and all that. They don't get to go to the like exquisite places, man. They know they don't fit in there. Verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. And for great tribulation, the lack of bread will really make a woman look ugly. You need the right nutrients to be attractive. Right? You need the right nutrients, man. Them beautiful ways that some of these women look don't make it through the night. They don't fall if they fall asleep and wake up. It's not just going to be a quick 10-second fix or a quick 2-minute fix for them to just zhuzh their hair a bit and then look like that again. No, they're going to look through all the makeup and different things that they put on their face because the attractiveness of women in this society, a lot of it's not even real, man. In the kingdom, an Israelite woman is going to be so like I think about it sometime, or I think about it a lot. The Israelite woman is going to be so beautiful. It's going to be hard to bear initially, man. And that's why we're going to have to be given a new body to be able to even handle it. Like if we was to see what the Israelite woman's going to look like in the kingdom now, we'd probably cry to see how she's actually going to be feminine and not a demon. Like I'll say it right now, the Israelite man right now, right, is not worthy to date the Israelite woman in the kingdom without being changed. We wouldn't be worthy to date her, right? And this ain't no simping, right? I'm just saying we wouldn't, because she'd be righteous in the kingdom, right? But here's the thing, a lot of Israelite women now that are not changed don't deserve to be with the Israelite man right now that are not changed. They don't deserve it, and that's why they're not going to get to. They're not going to be getting brought with them, right? And that's how you got this scripture here. Let's get it, right? Because some people might say, oh, that's arrogant to say. Who do you think you are? Well, hey, I don't think I'm nothing. It's about Yahweh deciding who I am. It's not about what I might think. But I don't think I'm much, to be honest with you. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as a mire of the streets. A lot of women right now ain't worthy to date the men of our nation right now. And we ain't even been changed. Now we wouldn't be worthy to date the Israelite woman that's gonna be changed in the kingdom. Like the future women of Israel, we wouldn't be worthy to be with them now. But when we're changed and they're changed, we're gonna be more than worthy. Because the Israelite man's higher than the woman at all times. Really. Right? But that doesn't mean that he doesn't treat her equal. Because we ain't going to be bunning out the Israelite woman in the kingdom. We ain't going to have nothing bad to say about it. What bad are we going to have to say? And she ain't going to be hating on us for us being men and having more than one wife. She ain't going to be hating. So what kind of woman's that? She's going to know that she's fine. She looks hot and beautiful. Anything she wants to look like. Right? But guess what? So's that other woman fine too. And she's not going to be jealous of another woman's beauty neither. Because the Israelite woman's going to know they're all going to be 10s. Every single Israelite woman's going to be a 10. Whether she's a light-skinned Israelite woman, a dark-skinned Israelite woman, they're all going to be 10s, man. Every single one of them. They're not going to be jealous of another woman's appearance because they're going to be able to do things to their appearance to have all the kind of beauty of women's appearance anyway. 2 women can be 10 out of 10 and look completely different. And the women of our nation are going to have the confidence. They're not going to be insecure, attention seekers. They're not going to, because we ain't seen them for a year maybe, right? We might have not seen them for a year because we've got all these other wives, or we might not see them as much as they would like, or we might not see them as much. They ain't going to be jealous and be like, oh, I'm going to have to try and get attention from another man now. I'm going to try and get attention from another man. I'm going to go back. No, they're going to be doing things, living their life, man, outside of us. They're going to actually have a real life outside of the Israelite man and outside of men in general. They're going to be having their menstrual cycle, right? And they're going to actually keep away from people and be by themselves in that time and have real alone time to actually do things, that they like to do without it being involving anyone else. Whereas right now in this world, how many women can you say do that? How many women can you say that actually do things on their alone time that doesn't involve nobody else? It doesn't involve no woman, doesn't involve no man. How many women can say that they do that? How many women can actually say in this world that they have hobbies where they do things where they're outside of anyone else? They don't. They always have to be around someone. They always have to be around some man. They always have to be around some woman. They always have to be around somebody to try and give them a sense of self-worth, man. But in the kingdom, our women are not going to be like that. And that's why we're seeking those women, right? Them women are going to be the glory of the Israelite man. The women right now, they're not, and they're not going to be neither, right? Some of them are okay, right? And we've got flaws too. That's a thing that we have to say. We got flaws too, right? We ain't just floating on angels' wings neither. But a lot of these Israelite women, man, they're just not. They're not it, bro. Right? And it's embarrassing, or it should be embarrassing for them that the Edomite woman is actually looking like a better candidate for them when they're the devil. They're like the same the same Edomite women that you might hear an apostle say, yeah, go and get an Edomite woman and that. Them same women, when it's Obadiah time, are going. Them same women are gonna get Obadiah 1 and 18 as well. So it should be embarrassing that women that are gonna go through Obadiah 1 and 18 are looking like a better candidate to be with than you. Because they're going Obadiah 1 and 18 when it's time. No matter how good the treat Israelite, man, they're going Obadiah as well. They're going to get Obadiah the same way as a woman that wasn't a good candidate today. That's an Edomite woman. It should be embarrassing that these women are able to make you look like you're worse than them when they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, you women might say, oh, it should be embarrassing that the Edomite man looks better than you. But the only reason why all you women like the Edomite man in general in this world is because he's got money more than everyone else. Take away the money from the Edomite man, y'all wouldn't want to be with him. Tell me I'm lying. Take away the money and the social stigma of him seeming like the best guy and him having the influence of the world right now, y'all wouldn't want to date him. And the proof of that is going to be in the kingdom, right? When the Edomite man is brought low, who's going to want to deal with him? Who's going to want to deal with him? Who's going to be dealing with Esau in the kingdom when the Israelite man's on top? Who's going to be coming to save him? Sirach chapter 10 and verse 30. The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, the Israelite man, how much more in riches? So if the Israelite man gets praise and all of this stuff right now, how much more when he's rich too? Because being rich and actually having honor, it only enhances the honor. And he that is dishonorable in riches, the Edomite man, how much more in poverty? I don't like Esau now. And he's billionaire, trillionaire. I don't like them. I wouldn't want to be an Edomite right now. I wouldn't want to be one. I would not want to be an Edomite, man. So how much more would I not want to be an Edomite when they're broke and poor and you can just truly look at them and see them for exactly what they are, man? And how much more women? Esau's women don't like him now as well. And you can see that the Deuteronomy 28 and 56 is on them, right? You can see it, man. But how much more are their women going to hate them when they're not even the rulers of the society anymore? They don't even like them now. Trying to throw them under the bus and make it like everything that they did wrong was just their fault and that the Edomite woman didn't have nothing to do with it. When she's guilty too, by the way. But how much more is that going to be a thing when... how much more is that going to be a thing when they're broke? How much more is the Edomite woman going to be being a Karen to the Edomite man? Like how Eve is disrespectful to us? Eve will be all in Jake's face, calling him an N-word, this and that. Just running her damn mouth. Giving him bad customer service, and he's never met her before. She treating him rude as hell. He never met her before. She's at work, and she's supposed to be treating the customers with respect, by the way. But when she sees you, she don't think she needs to give you the customer service. You're not even asking for no special, oh, hello, sir. No, just neutral. like you're a customer, you know, like you're actually about to buy something in this place. There might be a wicked ass Israelite woman that works in a place that might maybe sells footwear or clothing, and you call them over to try and ask for a shoe size, and they'll try and they'll walk away. they'll walk away and pretend like they never heard you. And then the Edomite woman shows up. But then here's another thing with with the Israelite women. They'll try and look at you sideways, right? And then heathen women are all smiling with you now and laughing and joking with you, treating you with respect. And now this bitch wants to come over and try and see what it do. No, fuck you. Yeah, because you didn't want to give the respect initially. And that's why so many Israelite women are going to be sent packing, man. Because they wanted to try and treat Jake with disrespect unless he's showing how many gold chains he's got, right? Unless he's overly dressing in his nicest clothes. And I've tested it out, man. I've tested out how this world treats me when I wear my so-called nicer clothes versus when I wear my normal clothes where I don't want to dress nice. And the clothes when I'm dressed so-called nice, they ain't much neither. But the Israelite won't be all up in Jake's face when he's dressed so-called nice. He might have a nicer pair of trainers on, nicer pair of shoes, shirt, a different cut, you know? They'll try and treat you differently. And the world in general does that anyway. And it's disgusting, man. Like, I actually am me personally, I'm disgusted by the fakery of like when a man's dressed up nice versus when he's just dressed down, how different he gets treated, man. I find it sickening that a man has to like fucking become Absalom in this world, looks wise, in order to get any respect. A man has to be showing that he maybe has a good job, showing that he's got some kind of trinkets to get treated a certain way, but a woman doesn't have to do none of that. A woman doesn't even have to be a good person in this world to get treated somewhat fairly. She can be a fucking complete bitch, and she's still gonna somewhat get treated fairly, man. She can be a complete Karen asshole, and she'll get given plenty of chances, man. I've watched these body cam arrest videos. You're gonna be running their mouth, talking to these cops like I'm not, you're not gonna arrest me, and the cop will just be trying to chill. Tell her about 10 times, ma'am, just go home, or you're gonna get arrested, and she'll not want to go home until he grabs her wrist and says, "You're not all right now. You're being arrested now." She'll, okay, I'll leave. I'll go home. But you had 10 chances before that to go home. Like, there's so much grievances in this world that us men have experienced, man. That we're waiting for that day. We're waiting for that day, man. We want, and that's why we want to see Jacob's trouble. We want Jacob's trouble because we know that at the end of it, we come out smelling like roses, man. In fact, let me get this Ezekiel scripture. Right? We want to see the day of the Lord, man, because we know that it ends up, as much as we're going to see Jake get dashed up, man. Jake's going to get getting dashed, flown out, thrown all over the place, man. Yahweh's going to allow Esau to really take out his rage. Esau's going to take out all of his rage on Jake in Jacob's trouble, right? And then guess what? He's going to realize after he's took out all of his rage that he was trying, oh man, everything that I did to these Israelites, I'm going to have to pay for it now because I'm a captive still. All this slaughtering that I did, and I still ended up in slavery. I did all this stuff to these people, but I wasn't banking on Yahweh Shai coming back. And when he came back, I knew it's over. He's going to do all that slaying, all that wickedness that he's going to do, man, that Yahweh's going to allow him to do. And yet he's still going in captivity, and he's still going to have to pay. He's still going to have to pay, man. We want the kingdom, and we want to see Jacob's trouble. Because we know that we get saved out at the end of it, man. This is Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 22. Yet behold, there shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth, both sons and daughters. Behold, so women are going to make it through the kingdom. I mean, through the day of the Lord. They are going to, right? Sons and daughters, right? Behold, they shall be brought forth unto you, and ye shall see their way and their doings, because they're going to be changed. And ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem. So, okay, 2/3 got absolutely obliterated in Babylon the Great in the lake of fire, right? But look at how these Israelites are. They've been changed. So now that I see how these Israelites are towards each other, it's just shalom this, shalom that, shalom ak waf. No one's beefing with no one. Like, what did Cyrus say in Warriors, man? Miracles. is miracles. And I say that miracles is the way that things ought to be. It's going to seem like a miracle when you see how Israel is, man. Can you dig it? Right? Can you can you count suckers? Yeah, it's got like that speech he gave in that movie, man, was pretty good speech, man. In the Warriors movie. But anyway, when we see what the Israelites look like, we're gonna understand why Yahweh did what he did to us. We ain't gonna mourn for the loss of them Israelites. Because we know that we're gonna see them again anyway, if we're of the elect, man. We ain't gonna be like, oh man, Yahweh destroyed so many people of our nation, and then look what's left. We're left with these dregs. No, we're gonna be like, man, Yahweh destroyed all those people in our nation, but look at what our nation's like now. Just look at them. Look at how beautiful they are. And ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even all that I have brought upon it. So there's a means to an end with Jacob's trouble, man. Those Israelites that are going to be saved out of it are going to look so beautiful. Like that, the day of the Lord is going to humble us so much. The women that are going to be left after that are going to be a true glory of a man. Like the day of the Lord is actually going to put beauty into women, man. It's going to actually make them seem more beautiful. A woman that's truly been humbled is actually a beautiful woman, man. And that's why the scriptures pretty much say that a man can't put that woman away all the days of his life because he's humbled her. When a woman actually gets humbled, right, she's actually quite beautiful, man. A humble woman in general is beautiful. And he said there's some arrogant ass demon walking around like her shit don't stink. When if somebody, I'm not even trying to get too grimy with them, but if some of these women was to even show their underwear, man, if they was to even show the inside of their underwear, they'd be humbled instantly, man. Trying to run around so proud. Trying to run around so proud, man. Nah, bro. Fix up, man. Fix up, Nilla. Trying to run around like you this and that. No, you ain't, man. No, you're not. Yeah? Verse 23, and they shall comfort you when you see their ways and their doing. Like, I'm trying to remain a bit calm in that, but like the way how the Israelite woman is so arrogant, and then you know that she's got like some wig on her head, right? And it looks stupid as hell, by the way. And most of them have it on their head, and it's like a secret that they know that we know, but they don't think that we should be able to say anything about it. But imagine if we always rocking around with Donald Trump and like surfer board men wigs on our head, right? Surfer dude wigs on our head, right? Looking like them. Doom da doom da doom da doom da. What if we what if we was walking out of that group, hair on our head, right? Like remember Shaggy from Scooby Doo? What if we was walking around with a Shaggy from Scooby Doo wig on our head, and it was blonde? Would the Israelite woman be looking at us like we shouldn't say anything about that? And when they say we look stupid, and we say, "Oh, why are you doing in a man's business?" As a woman, you shouldn't be worried about a man's business. Are they gonna accept that, or are they gonna be like, "Nah, I got a problem with it because I date men, and I think that you're a man that I find attractive, but I want you to take that shit out of your head because it's not making me think you're attractive now. It looks stupid." That's what we're saying to them when we say it, but they're saying now we shouldn't say anything about it. That we should just accept what they look like no matter what. Nah. Or as a man, you shouldn't be worried about a woman's business. Okay, well, a man might not want to date a woman that's 250 pounds. So we shouldn't say anything about it. We shouldn't say, you know what, I like women that are around 120 to 140 pounds. You weigh too damn much. Yeah, I ain't with all that. We shouldn't be able to say that. Like, I don't think that there's too many men that find women attractive that are 200 pounds. I don't think that they really could be too many women that are 200 pounds that are attractive. Unless they're very tall, man, and then their bodies would look okay, and the 200 pounds would spread. But as a 5'4", 5'2", 5'5", 5'7", 5'8" woman, you ain't gonna be looking good at 200 pounds, man. Nah, no, you ain't gonna be, man. You're gonna be fat as hell, man. And don't get fooled by the men that might smash neither, because they're just trying to run their numbers up. But y'all, you may not know anything about that. Verse 23, and they shall comfort you when you see their ways and their doings, and you shall know that I have not done without cause or they have done in it safe Yahweh. So even when you consider this scripture then and consider the things I've been saying earlier, even the way how our women are wicked right now, man, when you actually consider the ways of the women that are going to be left after that, we're going to understand and we're going to be comforted concerning all the things that we went through in regards to women now. When we're like, okay, we had women that was like that back then, but look at the women that we got now, though. Look at what's left. There ain't no women that's a demon left. And the women that might have not been that pretty, because it's like, here's the thing, man. Like, we say this as Israelite men sometimes, we say like, oh, when it comes to Isaiah 4:1, we're going to just be picking like attractive women and all of that, right? But I don't believe that Yahweh would be unrighteous to only make women that are going to be of the elect, women that are attractive. I don't believe that, right? Because a woman that's unattractive might be very humble in this world and might have true faith in the scriptures. And we're all going to be changed anyway, right? We're all going to be changed anyway, right? So then we're all going to be attractive once we're changed anyway. Some women, I believe, are going to be unattractive. And doesn't it say in 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter, that Yahweh chose the worst, right? So that's when you consider the women, some of the women that are not the most attractive are going to be getting beamed up on them chariots, man. Some of them are going to become the so-called wives of the elect, man. I believe that. I believe that the Spirit's going to make it happen. That the men are going to see something in that woman beyond physical attraction and select that woman. I don't just believe that every single woman's going to be some fine woman. Nah. Because in the time to come, men are going to be looking at women in a completely different way. That woman might have had our back and made us not get unalived. And we're like, yeah, come with me. Yeah, you can come with me. And she might not look like much, man. But the man can see beyond that. And he's thinking, he might view her as what she's going to look like, even though she don't look like that now. Who knows what's going to happen, man? But it's not a thing where just every single woman's going to be some fine-ass woman that's going to be of the elect. Nah. Because then that would allow some women that are demons to slip through, man. And I don't believe that Yahweh's going to do that. But not every single woman that believes in not every single woman that believes in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai right now, in sincerity and truth, is attractive. Because guess what? Are every single one of us looking like Denzel Washington right now? No, we're not. Do you know what I mean? Do we all look like Absalom? No, we don't. Are we all in shape? No. Some of us have got fat bellies. Some of us might have man boobs, man. Some of us might be obese. Are we all handsome right now? No, we're not. So then why would all the women be beautiful? Because we ain't even all handsome right now. We don't look the same as we did last week, some of us, man. And I ain't trying to bun no one out or diss no one neither. I'm talking about even me. We don't look the same as we did a year ago. Or some of our hairlines are receding. Some of our hairlines don't exist anymore. Right? We ain't just walking around with woolly hair. Some of us are missing teeth since the first time that we started believing in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Some of us have got all kind of ailments, our walks are different, right? So why would all the women be attractive? Yahweh doesn't view men or women the way our men view. For men look at the outward, but Yahweh looks at the spirit. So the spirit of the people that are going to be saved are not just all going to be attractive. I mean the physical appearance of the people that are all going to be saved is just going to be attractive, man. But this was just a video going into I didn't even want to make it this long. It was just a video going into the whole thing about women being a man's glory, right? But then I covered some other topics as well, and I was just venting out some of the thoughts that we have, that we might get in regards to the kingdom, man, because there's a lot to think about with the kingdom. That's what we desire, man. That's why one of the reasons why we believe what we believe, man. We're thinking of the kingdom, man. Like we think about it on a daily basis, man. But I'm gonna end the video there anyway. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.